Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive. Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Before talking through my team selection and transfers for Game Week 24, let's very quickly run through how my team performed in the previous game week. My defence went from heroes to zeros last weekend, delivering 38 points in Game Week 22, and then bringing home a shocking 6 points between them this time out. Matt Doherty was agonisingly benched in his home fixture against Leicester, and Luca Digne managed to score at the wrong end of the pitch, therefore getting -1 points for that own goal in the process. Virgil van Dijk managed to bag an assist for me though, which was his 4th attacking return in 10 games. Not bad for a centre-back. In midfield, the majority of my points ended up coming from the reliable Mo Salah, who I gave the armband as did the majority of FPL managers. The Egyptian made it an incredible 5th double-digit haul in just the last 6 game weeks. Elsewhere, remaining patient with Pereira and Richarlison has still yet to pay off, with both blanking again in nice fixtures, and dropping Raheem Sterling for Eden Hazard a few game weeks back has been nothing short of a calamity. On the positive, my 2 free transfers, Pogba and Rashford, both delivered instant returns for me, and budget forward Jimenez grabbed an assist in the dying minutes for Wolves. So in total, a score of 64 points for Game Week 23, 11 points above the average. On paper, a decent looking game week, but with many managers getting scores of 70 plus, it still feels a bit underwhelming. The issue with Game Week 23 was that all my points came from Salah, Pogba and Rashford, all players that are heavily owned in the FPL game now. So when they score points for me, they also score points for everyone else, and therefore any goals from them don't really help towards my rank. In the end, 64 points resulted in a small red arrow from 12k to just inside the top 14k. So let's move on to Game Week 24 now, and check out my thoughts and team selection for the upcoming midweek Premier League fixtures. With both Pereira and Richarlison underperforming in midfield, there's definitely been temptation to get rid, and a few players are currently on my watch list, including Diogo Jota of Wolves after his impressive hat-trick last time out. Of course, some will say that's just chasing points, and we certainly can't expect another hat-trick from him anytime soon. But at his price of 5.9 million, and with his excellent fixtures coming up, he could be worth the punt. Alternatively, with South Korea being knocked out of the Asian Cup in the quarter-finals, Tottenham's Heung-min Son could make an earlier return than expected, and given Tottenham's injury worries at the moment, he may have a chance of slotting straight back into that side. Notably, Spurs now boast 3 home games on the bounce, and with them losing against Chelsea in the League Cup the other night, this means Tottenham won't have a blank game week for Game Week 27. So there's further appeal for Spurs players now, and both Son or the more affordable Lucas Moura are currently in my considerations. However, despite all of these transfer considerations, my plan still remains the same for this week, and that's to try and keep hold of my free transfer whilst waiting for more information on the blanks and double game weeks. What we know for sure is that in Game Week 27, Chelsea, Everton, Man City and Brighton will all miss out, and this is due to the League Cup final being played on the same weekend. So for me, Hazard, Richarlison and Luca Digne won't feature for that game week, and that's something I'm going to need to plan for. But what's not confirmed yet is when their fixtures will be rescheduled, and there's a small chance that Everton and Man City could have a double game week before this blank in Game Week 27. So with all this information still currently up in the air, I'm thinking that 2 free transfers next week could be very useful once we get a bit more clarity on these blanks and doubles. So with that discussed, the likelihood is I'll be keeping my squad the same for Game Week 24, and here's how it currently lines up. But as always, I'll post any further updates on the FPL TV Twitter page, as well as my final team selection before the game week deadline. In defence, as things stand, both my Liverpool defenders are listed as doubts for Game Week 24, but Van Dijk's yellow flag is only down to illness, so I expect him to start that game against Leicester. Alexander-Arnold is a lot less likely, but I may just play him anyway with a good option on my bench if needed. Following his benching last game week, Matt Doherty is definitely a concern of mine now, but apparently it was due to the birth of his child, so let's hope his goal in the FA Cup earns him a start in this nice fixture against West Ham. In midfield, the 3 big hitters, Salah, Hazard and Pogba all pick themselves, and they'll be accompanied by the disappointing Richarlison, who, despite the poor form, I may just have to keep for now, with that potential double game week on the horizon. My budget strike force remains the same, with both Jimenez and Rashford getting rested for the FA Cup, and only making cameo appearances. Both have nice home fixtures this week, so I'll be hoping for big things from these 2. Similar to last week, I'm in no mood to be getting creative with my captain choice. Mo Salah is in exceptional form, and opponents Leicester just conceded 4 goals away to Wolves in the previous game week. So granted, it's perhaps a bit boring, but Mo Salah gets the armband once again, as I'm sure he will from many FPL managers. The headache this week is my bench, because benching Callum Wilson seems to always end in disaster for me. Annoyingly, he's once again listed as an injury doubt, but that didn't stop him bagging 9 points last week, so there's a small chance I may play him over Luca Digne for Game Week 24. To be fair, he may come in automatically for the injured Alexander-Arnold anyway, so this decision may not matter this time. The out-of-form Pereira will also miss out away to Spurs, and having all this money locked up on my bench is definitely something I need to address soon. So that's how my team currently lines up for Game Week 24. It's not looking the best, but I think it's more than decent enough to carry over an important free transfer, which could then serve me well once we get more info on the blanks and doubles. Good luck to all of you for the upcoming game week. FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all soon.